You guys played Enigma 6. How do you feel that match went?
Too shaky for my liking. There's a lot of things we've been focused on in practice leading up to this event. Obviously, shaky maps sometimes at Pro League, shaky event at Fort Worth. So it's been a rough sort of patch for us. I feel like we've refocused up a lot of our gameplay there, but the gridlock hardpoint and the Arsenal S&D just aren't where it needs to be yet. I feel like the more reps we get in on these certain shaky maps for us, other teams' map picks, we're going to improve, and I'm excited to see where we can go with it.
So looking forward to this match versus Reciprocity, how are you feeling overall considering a lot of the issues you've been having?
We just did vetoes, and I'm pretty confident with the map set that we got coming up. We've been trying to switch up some of the things we've been doing on hardpoint to create more consistency for us. I think the S&D changes to the specialists actually helps us out a lot too, so specialist abilities don't come into play as often, which I think helps us. As far as S&D goes, as long as we don't give away early bloods and we really utilize our teamwork and our gun skill together on the map, I don't think anyone can really mess with us. So.
Sounds like gameplay-wise, you've done your homework. So as far as jet lag goes, is your team feeling rested up and ready to go?
I mean, there's some delays that were happening today that were unfortunate, but we're ready to go. There's no excuses when we come to a tournament like this. We've been here so many times before, playing in tournaments in London before, so there's no excuse. We're here to win. So.
All right, thanks so much. I love to hear that. There's no excuses. Well, thank you for that interview. For now, back on over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you very much, Jess. And you heard that from Teep, what they're expecting to do here at CWL London. But they are going to be going up against Reciprocity, a rather sound defeat from 100 Thieves. I mean, it looked close before we had that pause, and then 100 Thieves came back and absolutely smoked them in that map 4.
Yeah, I think the good thing for Reciprocity is just the fact that they have the home crowd behind them, right? Like, usually an Optic match, it's usually one-sided in the fans. I imagine it should be pretty 50-50 out there. We'll have to wait and see. But for Reciprocity, it's one match. You know, 100 Thieves is a very solid team. And they've always sort of, I wouldn't say they've had Optic's number, but they've always played them very well. Even since back in this Unilad roster last year, they were a team that they have a certain style. It annoys Optic Gaming. The games usually go the distance.
When we heard it, when I was sitting outside for a little bit watching that match with 100 Thieves, the crowd got really loud for Reciprocity, and that was so exciting to hear. So to that point, I mean, Optic will have fans, but Reciprocity, Nameless, is going to have a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about earlier, though. I think that pressure could affect the players a little bit, right? Like, there's a lot of pressure on them to go far in this tournament, to be that European representation here in London, to be that team that makes it to the final. And they're going up against these, Titan teams, and, you got to kind of get one of these matches. Like, you lost 100 Thieves, now you're playing Optic Gaming. You got to win one of these if you're trying to get top 2 in your group. So this is a huge match for them. And in that last series, they did look pretty good in control, which kind of can be what Optic is not that good at. So if they're able to take that control in this series, maybe push it to that game 5 and win, we could see them come out with a victory.
We will have to see again, down 1-0 so far overall for Reciprocity. And I think, Pac, a little bit about Tommy. I want to focus on him for a minute. How do you feel about how he's been doing so far?
Well, they've only played one series, but in general, at the league, he's been shown to be a beast, right? And then if he can bring that performance to events, along with Zed and Dylan stepping up, like Dylan last tournament in Fort Worth played amazing. So far, we haven't seen him reach that level yet, but if he can and Tommy reaches the level that we've seen him reach at the Pro League, this team can be a consistent top 4 finisher. We just have to see it on land.
And he will be one of those players that will be vital for Reciprocity's hopes ahead of this game. We've just talked about him, Tommy Trurin. We sat down with him to talk about his illustrious career and his hopes for a championship win here in London.
The UK COD scene at the minute is a bit up in the air. All the top teams have moved out to America, so anyone that's been left behind hasn't really got top competition to play against at home, so they're going to struggle to sort of reach their heights. But I'd say there are some good players coming through. We recently picked up one, which is Dylan, so there's still good players coming through, but it's sort of harder now to get there. The last time we were here playing in the UK was at Birmingham on the previous title, World War II. The support sort of helped us get to that second place finish. We actually won the first best of 5 in that grand final, but ultimately lost the second one to ultimately finish short in the second with every map being so close. One of the worst things you can describe. You sit there and you think, oh, what if? Throughout my career, at most internationals, or some at least, I've finished second and never actually got over that final hurdle of winning one. So it is in the back of your mind, but you sort of just put it to the side and just focus on your game and so on. But we do believe we have the potential to do it and the talent to do so, so that's our plan. There's been like a small group. I've always teamed with Swanee, Jerd and Josh, Madcat. More recent times, I'd say Wuskins, Brad, my teammate at the minute. I teamed with him back in IW and I'm back with him on this game, so I spent a long time with him too. I've been a part of many teams, but there's always two that have stuck up there for me, and it's Vitality and Fnatic. Playing for those was sort of like childhood dreams. The Fnatic one, when I started first competing back in Call of Duty 4, that was the team that was at the top in the organisation. And then Vitality, I'm really good friends with their owners and stuff, but honestly I'd say Reciprocity are top in both. They are probably the best organisation I've played for. They've got a caring owner, caring team behind them. So it's an honour to play for them. I wouldn't really know what to say about people saying that I'm the most influential COD pro. I wouldn't say I'm worldwide, but within the UK, it's sort of true. Just hard work, dedication, commitment, not get let down by a few things. We can expect, I'd say, hopefully, us to win the event and hopefully one of my teammates to get an MVP performance. While we are winning, we're just going to try and have fun while doing it and enjoy the atmosphere and the crowd. I've always loved playing at Gfinity events. The best one, we're back at the Copper Box again, and that G3, we played here. I was under Epsilon and we finished second again. Hopefully this time we can get over that final hurdle and win it, and that's our plan.
You heard it there from Tommy on Reciprocity. Strong words, a lot of hopes here at CWL London. Just want to say a quick thank you to Merck and everyone else joining me on the desk. But we are ready to kick things off with Optic Gaming versus Reciprocity, and we are going to hand it over to our casters, Ben and Chance.
Thank you very much, Katie. This game coming up, Chance. Oh, this is one of the most exciting games of the day, that's for sure. And here's why. I do not know which way the London crowd is going to swing. Optic Gaming, huge fan favorites, have been for years and years and years. But listening, I think that's a Reciprocity chant already beginning.
And again, that's the age-old question. And will they get behind whichever team comes out with the hotness? Because what if it's a blowout in one direction? What if they're a Reciprocity crowd, but then Optic Gaming has a good game for themselves? So the crowd's always fun to talk about, and we're going to be doing that all weekend long, I assure you. But for this matchup, well, you got your maps on board. Still no Seaside Hardpoint coming in from Optic, because I think on land, he's still undefeated in the mode. Yep. Might have just been a ban coming in for Reciprocity. But Ben, this series as a whole, most likely scenario, whoever wins this makes it out of pools. It's not guaranteed. More Call of Duty will have to be played, but most likely scenario, winner makes it through, loser ends up in losers.
You're absolutely right. A lot of pressure, of course. Earlier on, it was 100 Thieves that played Reciprocity, and we saw how that went. 100 Thieves clutch up, and now here for Reciprocity, I don't want to say it's do or die time, but they need a win. They desperately need a win. It's going to give them a lot of confidence. Then, of course, E6 later on in the day. Optic Gaming versus 100 Thieves later on in the day. So some important games going on. 100 Thieves versus E6, that's going on right now as well. But I think we both kind of agree there that we think 100 Thieves is going to take it.
It should, but again, you don't want to say anything is going to be for sure, because we have had an insane year so far, and we want to say maybe do or die time for Reciprocity. But their losers bracket run they had at Fort Worth, they had to win 6 matches in a row. Every single one was a game 5, and they just came out with the fierceness. So these are both teams, actually, whichever one does end up in losers, may very well still go on a run. And of course, if they end up in winners, they're going to be a team you imagine that's going to be towards the top. So it's an interesting one. It's just about how much easier can you make the tournament for yourself.
Well, a packed house here late Friday evening, CWL London. And I'm excited to get this game underway. Of course, you heard Tommy in that amazing video piece about him, about his career, saying, you go back to the last UK event all the way last year, last season, Birmingham. The fans, how much of an impact they had, helping propel him and his team all the way through on a fantastic run. They were just one best of 5 away from lifting a trophy in their home country. And that's something that so many English players, European players, would just love. Even in their own home continent. Hell, we'll take that.
And I don't know how accurate it is, but I was told the Tommy's Turtles, whatever he calls his subscribers,
Turtle Gang?
that there is a ton of them here. Literally in the hundreds is what I was told. He had some special deal where he's buying people tickets if they subscribe or whatever the hell the deal was. It was something in that ballpark.
I feel like we have to.
You have to.
I feel like I have to do the old Chris Puckett. Let's find out how the fans are going. I rarely do it. Haven't done it in a while. It's been years. London. Let me hear you make some noise if you're cheering on Europe's Reciprocity. All right, where's the Optic Gaming fans at? Close.
International, Ben. They are international.
Green Wall, they travel everywhere. That's for sure. One thing's for sure, though, this game could be extremely close, and we have a Seaside, so buckle your seatbelts, folks. Get your popcorn ready, because if there was ever a map that could just be fantastic for me and you, Chance, it would be a Hardpoint Seaside, wouldn't it?
So here's the Seaside analysis, Ben. They were undefeated, 6-0 when they played it, but every single map was within 10 points, always down to the wire. So they were fearful. Last event, they didn't want to play it. Well, they go back to Old Faithful, and they get the hot start.
Crowd's going at it, as you would expect. Optic Rec still going at it. First hill, 25 seconds to go, and it's Optic Gaming with a small lead. That's going to diminish, and you keep your eye on the minimap for the rotation. Optic Gaming will already be there, and it's going to be the 3-time world champ Karma sat right at the back of the map, anchoring those spawns for the squad. Rec take the lead, but it's a small one, and we obviously talked a little bit about the KN earlier on in the day, in the hands of Crim already.
It is the Maddox replacement for non-ICR maps for your ICR player. A handful of teams will be using it in the gun. Ben, I will tell you, it shreds.
Yes,
you have to play it like it's an ICR. You gotta pre-aim, you gotta use the stock that's on it, but it can put in work, so just keep that in the back of your mind as well. Rotations here, chaos inside the hill. Shawnee's able to pick up 2. Dashi looking for some trades, and Optic able to stabilize the point.
Dashi just simply doesn't miss. Now comes the assistance from Karma. Wiskin will shut him down, but it's Optic Gaming inside the hill. 30 seconds left, and Crim has him right where they want him. As it stands, it's actually Karma inside barrels. He may actually go for an early rotation. Keep your eye on 4 and number 9 on the minimap. That's Dylan from Reciprocity, who's going to have a big fight. It's actually Dashi that spawns up. He goes deep to the back of the map. Is Dylan even going to expect it? No, not at all. Spawns, advantage Optic Gaming.
This is a big second hill, the rotation of 3rd. This is what wins you Seaside if you're successful. You got TJ and Karma up front, Bruce locking down the back, all things firing ahead. So if you're Reciprocity, already down by 40 points, it might just get brutal, might get out of control. If you can't get the break, all these kills going the way of Optic Gaming. Maybe the bottom side of the map a little bit open. Karma watching the cuts, he might be able to go on a flank, able to kick up 1, finds the second as well. The call-outs are there. Finally, Shawnee towards the hill.
Well, there's a potential break here for Reciprocity. Zed leads the charge. Tommy's there to assist. Rec have broken through, but can they hold on? Optic Gaming still with the favorable spawns, and you see just how much of an advantage that can be. Dylan, Shawnee, all of Reciprocity drop. Optic Gaming with almost a perfect hold with 20 seconds left. Optic almost with a 100-point lead.
That 2-3, Ben, it is that runaway train, and that was Dashi just rotating 20 seconds in advance, winning the gunfight in the back, and the team, well, pick up all the kills to replace. And, well, you can see a bunch of guys having a pretty nice time so far. Karma, of course, leading the charge in the slaying category with 11 kills to his name. But Reciprocity, little bit of life. They get inside barrels. They got the full spread across the map. You got Shawnee in the back with the KN, finds the first, finds the second. Reciprocity finally able to get some time on board.
They need to get a little bit of momentum back into this game. You cannot allow Optic Gaming to break in quickly as the gunfight seems to last a while there for Dylan as he slides out. Does shut down TJ. This could be the turn of the tide for Reciprocity. They find themselves down almost 60 points, but the first 30 seconds of barrels has gone their way. Looks like Optic's gonna have 1 more potential push, maybe 2 dependent on spawns, but Karma's just flown straight in. He's got himself a double, grab some available to use should he need to, but I don't even think he needs to invest it here as Wuskin now pops into life. A double for him, over to Crim, not gonna find 2, but TJ still inside the hill.
And this is such good time for Optic to get. Already this hill is an effective win for them because they lose the rotation, but they chop away at that time. So yes, Reciprocity maybe goes 40-20 on this split, but Optic will be happy with the job they did on the first set of rotations. Amir doubling the score of their opponent, but it's back to first. Zed's inside. He finds 2 before he falls, but honestly, it might just come down to a near one-on-one. Dylan, though, the reinforcements are in. Reciprocity's here first.
Yep, and Rex should be good to just put their authority down on P1 for the initial time at least. 45 seconds left. The nade from Tommy is enough to shut down Skunk. Wuskin still patrolling mid-map, has his teammates still in the hill as Rec close the gap. Optic Gaming's been able to earn 122-84. The green wall inside the hill. Wuskin still controlling mid-map, only 1 for him. Bear in mind, Karma still with that grab sum available to use. He's had a good map so far. 16-9 is Karma, leading the way for Optic Gaming.
Well, just 20 seconds left. You got Reciprocity, a couple players still lingering around the hill, but it's going to be Dashi able to find 1. The final 15 seconds go their way. And of course, over towards barrels, you got Wuskins trying to find players. TJ gonna fall. We'll see him off respawn, and he got Zed in the back. This is a good initial hold so far for Reciprocity towards second, but the hill has just now popped. So that's one wave gone, but now you need 2, maybe 3 more.
The key for this whole second rotation, though, is going to be the rotation from P2 all the way to back fountain. Optic Gaming got a ton of time. Reciprocity cannot allow that to happen again, and you may see some trades of specialists. Streaks, of course, would be great, but we're not going to see that just yet. Reciprocity fighting back, 40 seconds left. Currently in control, but it's these following kills which are going to be so important as Dylan and Tommy both pick up 2.
And these are massive responses to the pressure Optic was pouring on, constantly trying to flood around back, but Reciprocity was there, now giving up the back spawns just so they can kill him on the back. Zed inside the hill, still getting more.
They don't know. Reciprocity have no idea that TJ is stuck all the way behind. And TJ, being so smart, so intelligent, waiting for the perfect time. He knows his teammates, they're spawning in Narnia. They're not even relevant. It comes down to him to be so patient. He has to make this play at the exact right time.
But he didn't. He was slow. He's only got a SOG to kill these players in the back. It's going to be impossible. He's able to get the first, the second coming for the trade. Dylan with the beatdown spawns away at Reciprocity, who on that second hill got a massive amount of time. The difference, though, this time around, Optic at least able to put pressure on the front side of the hill. Karma, though, was going to fall. It's up to Dashy and Scump to try to break through. And Reciprocity, well, they don't get those back spawns.
Tommy is still alive there with the back, but he's being hunted down, pursued by Optic Gaming. He drops. Now for Reciprocity, you have to try and push through the middle. Grab Slam comes through. That's 2 for Zed. Zed with 3. Rex trying to break 4. Zed almost with 4. But it's Karma that holds it down for Optic Gaming. Grab Slam from him. Only finds 2. The trade, it comes through. Rex still with the spawns. Optic Gaming flooding from the front side of the hill as it stands 175, 144, 15 seconds of hill time left.
No back spawns off the break, no problem. Karma will make something happen. 24 kills to his name. Everyone else lagging behind, albeit Dashy with the Tempest may be able to bump his numbers up. Last time around, Reciprocity had the full barrels control. This time it is Optic's turn. Kills in the kill feed going their way. Zed the next one in. Dashy with the Tempest shuts him down.
Oh, there's 2 in quick succession for Dashy. He's looking for one more. 125 away from Streaks, and he finds the kill. 75 points for the. Oh my God! What? Bruce with the snapper. It's enough to seize full Streaks for him. TJ picking up the cut. And Optic Gaming, they can't win it here, but boy oh boy, can they almost put this game to bed. Insert epic seaside comeback.
This is where it gets difficult. It is going to be impossible to try to break through. Dashy has not stopped on a 9 spree. It is his time to shine. Looking for more. Get the double-digit streaks. Use the Hellstorm. Use the Lightning. 10 seconds away. The game is theirs.
This could be it. Streak invested by Dashy. It finds Tommy. Can he find anybody else over towards the new hill? Yes, of course he can. Dylan will fall as Dashy with 30 kills, 5 seconds, all that Optic Gaming need for Reciprocity. You're looking at a 100-point comeback, and bear in mind, Dashy still has a streak. Is he even gonna have to use it? I don't think so. Karma with 2, Scump with 1, and Optic Gaming take the advantage in the series.
And if you're an Optic fan, you got a taste of a lot of things that you love to see. You had Karma shredding off Rib. You had moments where on that 2 to 3 rotation the second time around, they got dealt a difficult hand. TJ could only take down 1, so Reciprocity gets those back spawns, but what happens? Big plays from Karma to get inside the hill. The 2-piece with the grab slam, picks up a number with the Maddox, and from the front, they don't have the back spawns. They manage to get control of the hill anyway, and it's moments like those that just win you the game. Plus, Dash at the end goes in like a 12 spree.
Yeah, I was gonna
that
say,
helps too.
You talk about big plays in that map. I mean, I think your Scuff Gaming play of the game has to be Dashy going on that streak. The Tempest of they say it was nerfed. I don't. Every time I watch it play, I just don't see the chance. I just don't see it.
Well, you see it out of some, but you don't see it at all. And honestly, it was the last one that was just the cherry on top. He said, "Where's Karma?" Let's throw a wall. Like there's a wall there, but apparently not. Dashy doesn't care. Neither does the Optic fans, because that is a clean and convincing game number 1. But we've seen that before. And it's something we have seen a lot from Reciprocity. It doesn't matter how it happens. It doesn't matter if it's the hard points or the searches. They find a way to force that map number 5.
Crowd here in London having some fun. It's Optic Gaming with the advantage though. And obviously, you and me, we casted Optic Gaming versus E6 earlier on. Similar story. Optic come out to the 1-0 lead. The search and destroy, though, that's where E6 fought back.
And literally what we were told by E6 when Center came over, he was like, all right, yeah, Dashy just does that sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you can just sit back and relax and like, okay, he had a monster game. It can't happen every time, albeit it seems to happen fairly often, but you just got to bounce back. You take advantage of the search and destroy. You relax a little bit, breathe, try to grab your bearings under you and see what you can put together on Arsenal.
That's basically what it comes down to, just regain as quickly as possible. But there's a look at our series layout. Of course, we started off with the Seaside hardpoint. We have an Arsenal search and a Seaside control before we move over towards the Arsenal hardpoint and frequency search and destroy. Should this series go the distance? We've casted 2 series, one of which was a Game 5, the other a 3-0. We'll see if this one can maybe give us a good Game 5 as well.
And the last time these guys played, it was back over towards Fort Worth. It was the first time we were able to see Reciprocity with Dylan on the team. And well, they take Optic to a game number 5 and they beat them there. And that was part of the reason why, well, for one, Optic Gaming gets eliminated early. And for 2, Reciprocity eventually just went on the massive Game 5 tear streak that they had. I think they were like 6 for 8 or something along those lines. Every single series for them was going the distance. And they were clutch at the last tournament. Good enough for top 3, but they got to keep that up, if not just outright start winning some of these 3-0, 3-1.
And there's a very real possibility if Optic Gaming is to win this series. At the end of the evening, you would have 100 Thieves versus Optic, both teams at 2-0, fighting for the #1 seed. I mean, the seed's so important. You think about how stacked our groups are. Think about the potential bracket as well that could come through. Gen G, of course, they've had a good tournament so far. I believe they've carried on their winning spree. But overall, the level of competition this year, Chance, has just been insane.
And it seems like it's not going to get any worse, right? Like it's only going to get kicked up a notch because all the teams that made roster changes were not necessarily those teams at the tippy top. Right. So you have all the guys that are the same old roster that are your top teams, but the guys that made the changes are going to start to get better. So it's going to be a brutal year for so many teams, and that just means it's incredibly difficult to emerge as a champion.
Yeah. Very difficult indeed, especially if you plan on winning more than one event. Very, very tough. It's game 2. Arsenal, search and destroy. We load on in. Optic Gaming with the advantage in the series. This to put them perfect in pools so far.
And so the 2 maps we saw Optic on against D6, it was the Arsenal search, which we saw them lose 6-2, and then it was a frequency for the game number 5, which we saw them win. So the map set is similar,
yeah, very similar.
But obviously if they lost the Arsenal the first time, they go back to the drawing boards, they talk it over. Obviously they still want it on board to try to fix some of those mistakes. And obviously Frosty was doing some flashy things that might have hurt Optic just a little bit. So
scope to the face at 2-2, yeah, it's pretty.
Helps just a little. So Optic Gaming trying to bounce back, and this is something we haven't seen. Triple stacking over towards the B site. Dashi might just be able to get first blood. Only connects with one hit marker for the second, but he gets traded out. The fierceness, the aggression is there. First round the way of Optic, guaranteed.
And I love what Optic Gaming just did. They said, oh, you think you have a chance? We're just gonna fly you. We're gonna just slaughter you. Straight off the rip, get momentum heavily in their favor. Round was quick, very, very quick.
Grab your stopwatch. It was what, 20 seconds in, if that. Dashi, by the way, a glitch, sees things we don't. I have no idea the second shot he connected with.
The hit marker? Yeah, it was his teammate.
Oh, in that case, stop shooting your teammates, man. But either way, again, as aggressive as you could be, and if you're Reciprocity next time around our offense, boys, what do we do? Because let's not do that. Go anywhere else other than the B site. Hit just something.
Yeah, that strat definitely didn't work. Left a lot to be desired, that's for sure. But up to their turn now on the attack. And well, for Reciprocity, it's almost as if they're saying, all right, well, you want to play like that? Fine, we'll play like that. It's Dashi with the sniper waiting. Perfect opportunity, teammate again, just in front. Swing and a miss, but it's TJ who gets the double. And that side is wide open now. Gunfight mid-map, Krim wins that. Reciprocity on the struggle bus early here in game 2.
This is Optic Gaming. You talk about playing together. That is 5 men that just crossed through that door. It doesn't matter if you have the information because it's not going to be easy to take them down. Tommy may be able to find a pick if he can get it, but he is in another 1v5. Optic Gaming has been perfect in these first 2 rounds.
That is the perfect start for Optic Gaming. On the flip side, for Reciprocity, It is not good at all. They've been red the first 2 rounds. They've been outgunned by Optic Gaming as well. One thing's for sure, right now, Reciprocity need the energy of the crowd.
The rounds we saw earlier from Optic Gaming, when they play standard, a little bit slower paced, eventually they just got bullied out on this map. The first 2 rounds, hyper aggression, and they run the other team over. Now you got Karma, who is stagnant for some unfortunate reason. So, well, Reciprocity, they find their first blood.
That's planted. And now all of a sudden, Dashi may be the playmaker on the retake with the sniper rifle. He's slow peeking over towards B. It is a 5v4 in favor of Rek, and oh my god, you blink and you miss it. Dashi simply not missing with the sniper rifle. 2 incredible shots so far on this map, but Reciprocity know they can just back away. They know this is a round which is such a simple win, or is it? 18 seconds, Dashi for the 1v3. He's picked off Wuskin. There should surely be no way. Yeah, there should surely be no way. Has he baited it out? May find the kill, but not gonna get the defuse, so it doesn't matter. Shawnee slows him down, but when Dashi's sniping like that, there's very few people on this world that can shut him down.
Obviously something is clearly going wrong from Karma's perspective, but what is going right is obviously the shot from Dashi, because that was as many kills as you could ask, and I'll tell you, he was close with the strike at the end for that final one, but Reciprocity will take what they can get. First round on board, and fear striking into their hearts. It has been this B side on offense and defense, both teams, and it has been Optic Gaming fairly dominant over towards the point. Even for the round they do not connect with. I'm assuming Karma's back on board. They look locked in and focused, ready to go. Chewing the gum, talking strats, and letting Dashi snipe everything in sight.
You assume everything is A-okay, but it's the first blood for Shawnee. As Reciprocity try and fight back into this one, a 5v3 early on. It's TJ and Vent that does secure the pick onto Tommy. Stops the bleeding. Have lives lost this round. Still 4v3 advantage. Rek. And we see that bomb picked up. Oh, no. Again, Dashi just spots the sliver of Wuskin and will make him pay. And now all of a sudden, TJ has managed to claim the bomb. And in this 3v3, Rek have a little bit of time to work with. 37 seconds left. The question is, how are they going to split the map? Dashi trying to be flamboyant as ever. Has spotted one player. In fact, he spotted all of them. Dashi may well just try and shut them all down now. The 1 versus 2. It falls to Shawnee. Of course, they knew exactly where he was. They'll spot him again with 15 seconds left. Shawnee will fall. TJ clutches up. Optic Gaming cruising through.
I mean, they're literally playing 4v5. Karma, whenever he got to the spot he was over towards the second hard point, he stopped moving after certain points. That is effectively a 4v5 win, and that is obviously a very nice clutch. A 2v3 essentially for TJ and Dashi to pull off, and you can see why. TJ getting the trade for the second kill, hunts down the third with the SOG, and well, had the right gun for the job, because 6 HP is all he needs.
And it's funny because, again, we talked about this a little bit earlier on. TJ, search and destroy. In terms of what you know about him as a player for so many years, has been fantastic search and destroy ability. His basic instinct, his natural instinct, if you will, has been just second to none. It really is impressive. But this year, you haven't had that kind of incredible performance. However, I will say, today at Search and Destroy, it's been flourishing.
I mean, so much has changed this year. It's 5v5,
yeah,
he's coming on a new roster on a team, so it is incredibly difficult at times to stand out, especially on this roster, but you're exactly right. He hasn't been quite as good in Search as we want, because we just know how good he can be at his best. Unreal talent, one of the best S&D players Call of Duty has ever had. And so you love when he can kind of kick it up an extra notch, which obviously you catch a glimpse of it there. You got a guy in the map not even playing on your team, and it's a feasible situation for Optic Game to be able to pull off, because we know what TJ can do.
And obviously, to just touch on that, Karma currently suffering some controller issues, getting that fixed and jump straight back into this game. But one thing's for sure, if you're a Reciprocity fan, you should be a little worried, because it's looking pretty likely now that Rek may fall 2-0 down in the series.
And just to kind of follow up on an earlier point, against E6, we saw so many rounds where E6 just had a good opening break. They had a good opening break. They find those first bloods, whether it be with a frag grenade coming in it or a pick from Frosty. But even in the 3v3s, they were just simply outplaying the opposition. Well, Optic Gaming, again, they kind of flipped that switch, and it's just aggression. Even in the effective 2v3 that they had, they're flanking around the map, playing as fast as they can. So they are full speed ahead. It's like they set Dashy and TJ free. Just go do what you want, play as aggressive, be those playmakers. And outside of the one round, where again, Karma just straight up wasn't playing, it has just been dominant from the side of Optic. Those first 2 rounds, just again, you got the stopwatch on. They don't last very long.
It is worth mentioning the contrast of what we saw in their earlier game against Enigma 6. Same map, right? But we're seeing 2 very different play styles, and it seems as if, you know, kind of TP mentioned it, we're going to learn, we're going to evolve. We made a lot of mistakes. We're not going to make those same mistakes. Seems to basically be his point in case coming to fruition.
And again, it's not even radically different. There's a couple things that are more aggressive, which could very well just be counter shots to what you expect Reciprocity to do. Like that first round was essentially the perfect hard counter, expecting Reciprocity to go over towards B. So it could be prep work, it could be flipping the switch to fix the mistakes from E6. Hey, but whatever the case may be, it's working.
You're absolutely right. It is working because Optic with the advantage here in the search and destroy. And then you think maybe about the rest of the series and how that's going, plus, you know, 2 late games which need to be played. Optic Gaming versus 100 Thieves, the final game of the night. For Reciprocity at that point, they'll put their attention on Enigma 6. And the reason we bring it up so often is just how much of an effect it's going to have on the pools as a whole. Who's going to take that #1 seed? You mentioned it's imperative for Rec if they want a good chance of going through top 2. A win here is almost needed.
This is the last series we'll have where the fate will be in everyone's individual hands, because if Reciprocity end up falling here, well, they'll need a lot of magic to go their way, and well, if Optic lose, then they're going to need another series to go their way. So for Optic's sake, they get the win, and it's probably not a guarantee because there could be like a 3-way tie 2v1, but probably not. You get the win, you're almost certainly going to be able to go through, and for Reciprocity again, just grasping at straws, trying to get any bit of momentum they can find. And while luckily for them, they've had a couple extra, maybe 2 or 3 minutes to talk things over and be like, hey boys, lesson D, not going too well for us right now. So, what do we need to do?
So to that point, what would you be looking at to change? Is there anything kind of overwhelming that you've seen and you're like, well, maybe they need to change this?
So Karma's controller wasn't working and it still wasn't panning out. They need to find either Dashy or TJ's controller and then start from there, and that'll be the best starting point.
Well, again, as it stands, if you're just tuning in, Karma suffering a bit of a controller issue, but looking over towards the main stage. Seems like that's being fixed as quickly as possible. Optic Gaming took hardpoint Seaside pretty comfortably. Really, the control was mainly on that rotation from P2 to P3. Then you head over towards the search and destroy. So far, business as usual for Optic Gaming.
And the problem is, my real answer is, like, if Dashy is going to continually snipe every round, you want to force him to hit the most difficult shots.
And then he
so you want to keep the aggression. But yeah, like, that's just a simple thing. It's not working when he is hitting the difficult shot. So it's not necessarily that Reciprocity is doing anything overwhelmingly wrong. Maybe that second round they got caught about a little bit too much with the aggression from Optic on offense, but I don't know. Maybe throw out some more ICRs, and I don't have an answer, Ben. It's not difficult. When you're hitting shots like that, it is not easy to manage.
Well, there are a quick glance at the CWL London Trophy. Thing of beauty. Who will be lifting that above their head come the end of Sunday evening? A lot of different predictions from almost everybody. We'll wait and see. So far, it seems as if all your heavy hitters outperforming the way you would expect. Really, it won't be till tomorrow that we see maybe some big upsets.
I mean, I think the craziest result we've had so far is Envy beating E United. And maybe not for everyone. That's my personal thing. A lot of EGB who?
I think EGB Envy as well.
EGB Envy?
Yeah, I believe so.
Seriously?
That might be the biggest upset.
All right, well, that pool is wild then, because I think E United beat FaZe, and I think FaZe beat EG, so you got players, or teams, excuse me, all over the place in that pool, which actually, that's chaos then.
Sure is. I believe the game about to get back underway. Optic Gaming, of course, with the advantage here in the search and destroy, and it's that man that has been causing Europe a whole different host of problems. His sniper rifle play has been prolific. It took Frosty's sniper earlier on for E6 to really slow him down.
Is Frosty American or Canadian? I have no idea. I was going to say, in real life, Canadians are actually the best snipers like we've ever seen. if you go and like look at the list of like
Only you would know
longest distance sniper kills, Canadians are all over the top 10. And now you got Dashy. In a video game, granted. Disgusting with the sniper, obviously in the conversation for the best.
Sure, well, quick glance at both, but the game back underway. Optic Gaming versus Reciprocity. The Search and Destroy is a big advantage currently to Optic, and well, new round, same result. 5v1, first blood, Optic Gaming fly forward, and poor old Wuskin sat saying, guys, what happened? Where'd you all go?
I'm telling you, man, you got to find either Dashy or TJ's controller, because it's Dashy hitting the shots and TJ picking up 2 in the kill feed. But honestly, another good strat coming out of Optic. It's just the hard counter, the pressure on the right side of the map on defense. We have had 2 different rounds where they make the right read, where they just fly at their opponent and they let them know. And Karma having problems, but Optic Gaming just simply is not. The reads have been perfect.
Karma doesn't even need to do anything.
He's fine. No.
At this point, you just send your spawn, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. 4-1 now, the advantage to Optic Gaming here in the Search and Destroy. Karma's looking down, making sure his controller is A-okay. Again, not that it really makes much of a difference. He's currently stationary, so maybe the problem hasn't been fixed. Dashy
Karma's got
flirts back over towards the sniper rifle, and I think, again, this game may be paused or slowed down. Rife's having a quick look.
It's worth pointing out how scared Reciprocity is. Because they haven't creeped up on the map at all. You have, I don't know, 3 or 4 players on Optic not even playing. And Reciprocity's like, we're playing passive. We're going to look for them, see if we can sniff them out, and there's just nothing there. I think Optic's up, what, like 4-1?
It's 4 to, yeah, it's 4-1. I believe this is going to be ended again. So apologies about that. But Optic do have the advantage in the round. They have the advantage in the series. They're currently up 1-0. Soon to be up 2-0 chance. And then you look at the control, I believe it was a seaside control, a map which we've seen. Now Reciprocity produced some cute strats, but
it
really
never
not
works.
very efficient.
It literally never works a single time from the very first time we've seen it of, hey, this is really creative. It's a great idea behind it. Execution sometimes pans out, and then they just lose after that. So it has been a map they enjoy playing on, but haven't seen a great deal of success. And granted, if 5v4 and respawn is incredibly different than Search and Destroy, so maybe that would be one advantage if this keeps up, but obviously working to fix that as quickly as possible. Hello? Cameras. I don't even know, actually.
Fair enough.
Oh, so they're over there. Okay.
As it stands, big advantage to Optic. I'm going to keep saying it because for Optic Gaming, the way they started off here in London wasn't, I like that chant, whoever started that. Like that. As I said, as it started off, you were maybe a little concerned how this event was going to go after the last event, a poor finish. But we'll take a look at what's going on elsewhere. Enigma 6, 100 Thieves, 96, up in the search.
And so this is obviously relevant because these are what, the other 2 teams
Yes.
in the pool right now. So E6 is 0-1, 100 Thieves is obviously 1-0. I don't know, was that game right there?
No.
Oh, no, 5-3 advantage. Okay, I thought that might have been the 6th round, but this is why the current series for Optic and Reciprocity, it's expected if Optic wins, they get through, and if Reciprocity, if they win, they might end up getting through because then E6 would be 0-2. You imagine they get the win over there. So that is why this current series is so incredibly important on Alpha, just because of how we expect that other series to go.
Either 2 teams at 2-0 and 0-2 in the group, and then all of a sudden that game at the end of the day to decide who is going to be first seed kind of makes it pretty straightforward, if nothing else. But as it stands, E6 still up in the search, and their Search and Destroy play again against Optic Game is fantastic, and this is a map as well, which you just know they love.
Yeah, I mean, Kismet went well out of his way to be like, hey, if you see me on Hasa S&D, hype me up right now. And of course, 4-7, so maybe he's just baiting for his teammates because GodRx having himself a pretty decent game, it looks like, and Jet Li and Frosty not too far behind, but a passive spread on the map so far. Playing for information, but 100 Thieves, to their credit, essentially making the perfect read. They got 4 bodies over towards this B side. Frosty, though, with the first blood, has some help. ICR and aggressive as ever and Enable. Well, he is the Maddox. He'll take it. General, I thought that was a sniper for a second, but it's just going to be a thermal ICR.
Only 3 bullets. They're going to connect. Is he going to escape? Barely. Gets away. Advantage E6. GodRx picks up Priesta. Makes it a 3v2. 29 seconds left. Of course, we can see it on our minimap.
bomb has been planted over towards A. Enable versus, Enable and Octane going up against the Enigma 6 boys. You got Jet Li, God RX, and General. I want to see this one might be over here. E6's Search and Destroy Game 2 record you feel is very strong. 1v3, all down to Enable. He's trying to hunt down the first player over towards Connector, and that's going to be that. E6 making things interesting against 100 Thieves. They tied up 1-1.
And this is the thing, if you want to pull for chaos, you're rooting for E6, but of course I know a lot of 100 Thieves in the building, so they want those clear-cut victories, but E6 has been a force. Like, we're expecting them to, they make a roster change, and they just got top 6. So if they get a little bit better, improving on top 6 is a great place to be, but you got to get out of this pool that is an absolute death trap.
I think that's fair to say as well for 100 Thieves fans.
Yes.
Big question mark on how well is the team going to perform. Obviously, you go back to the last major, Priester kind of pulled away, and you're left with so many questions. What could have been? Well, you're going to get your answers here in London.
And they're 14-4 with Priester on LAN as well,
That's
which
ridiculous.
is by far the best record of any team we have. Even LG, if you want to count their Pro League, you toss it in with the win that they had, still not as good. So 100 Thieves, again, I think maybe not the fan favorite, let's say, but if you did a pool or polled everybody, most people would pick them to win the event.
Yeah, I think they'd probably come out as maybe favorites between the experts and players as well. I think it's fair to say that. But of course, came on main stage, getting ready to jump straight back into that one. Optic Gaming versus Reciprocity. We knew this was going to be a pretty interesting one in terms of fan support. Split relatively, maybe.
I was very surprised by that.
Bit
I'm
of
not
an
gonna lie.
advantage. Hey, man, the Europeans, they know how to turn up.
No, I'm saying I was surprised that it still went the way of Optic. I thought they were going to be like more homers, but Optic, yeah, the green wall runs deep, man. Like they're all over. If we went to Australia, it'd be Optic fans everywhere. Always.
Probably.
Yeah, 100%.
Probably. Of course, Optic Gaming up 2-0 in the up 1-0 in the series, about to be up 2-0 in the series. Their Search and Destroy is 4-1, but if we're honest, Chance, this search hasn't been close. I mean, Reciprocity haven't really shown us anything to get excited about.
I mean, I was thinking for a second, I was like, okay, they had like a 2 to 3 minute delay after whatever the round count was, 3-1. I'm like, all right, maybe Reciprocity gather their bearings, figure things out, talk it over, and then the next round, instantaneous Optic win. And again, did it without really Karma having to do anything at all.
No, he did nothing, yeah.
It's just hyper aggression from Optic Gaming. They are just completely taking it to Reciprocity. And honestly, at least for Arsenal, I see no reason for it to slow down.
That's the right thing to do. You look at how Optic Gaming played against E6 earlier on, the same map and game mode. And it was a little slow. I don't want to say scared, but once again, we're underway. Optic Gaming versus Reciprocity. We'll see if we can make it to the end of the map this time. Optic 4-1, the advantage for Reciprocity. This is now where you have to baby step round by round for a comeback, and that's much, much better. 4 versus 2 early on, advantage rec.
And that's huge as well, because the timing, well, the strap wasn't there for Reciprocity.
Oh my God!
The read, but Dash.
He's a walking montage! He's a walking montage, people!
I don't care what happens in this round, we're watching Dashy the entire time.
Yes.
When he's dead, we watch his death
yes, yes, we will watch his dead body and salute the sniper play.
Oh, good God. Well,
just when you think, oh, right, yeah, they're going to win a round. Up steps Dashy with a sniper rifle, and all hope is seemingly lost.
and they did nothing wrong. They didn't play the 4v2 poorly, they just got Dashy.
They got Dashied. I like that.
Oh my God.
Well, bomb goes down. Still the 2v2.
Pull the sniper, come on.
Yeah, come on, Dashy.
We both know what you need to do.
Well, TJ shuts down What's-Good. Shawnee for the 1v2. They tried to split and collapse across and have some fun with it. Go for it. Yeah. All right, that's a little, it's just, at least put a little bit of respect on Shawnee's name. Shawnee's going to push through, and, well, TJ's there to secure the round. 5-1, Optic Gaming. If you're his teammate, you just must look across and be like, oh, how can we lose?
I have no answer for you.
This is the first one. You're thinking, oh, no. Then hits that. And then just goes, oh, peekaboo. Bear in mind that's slowed down as well.
I feel so bad for Zed. Like, what do you even say to your teammates, dude? Like, that's just...
Statue.
All right, come on, Dashy cam. We gotta have the Dashy cam.
Yeah.
He's keeping the sniper out. If anyone from Reciprocity goes his way, you gotta keep an eye on him. All right, Paradox, I'm sorry. No one's there.
Well, there's one.
Well, there's one there. Okay, yeah. And he'll die eventually?
Nah,
no, he wouldn't
ran
advance.
away.
Okay.
He ran away.
Not yet.
5-1.
At some point, Dashy will kill like 3 people.
Oh, great nade. Oh, it's always the easy ones you miss. Curse of the sniper. as Reciprocity once again just try and fly straight forward. It's a 4 versus 4. Can they get their second round? Oh, good pitch comes through. That's the result when Karma's controller works. An easy double. Dashi shuts down 1. And it's a Wuskin 1 versus 4 to keep Rec alive here in game 2. Can he produce a moment of magic? I know where he is, and now it should just all be about finding that final pick. Out flies the first. Wuskin does find the pick, stays alive. 27 seconds left, 1 versus 3. Knows Dashi's location as well, but this is going to be so hard. You can't afford to slow peek. 3 players shooting at him. Dashi finds the pick. Wuskin falls. Optic Gaming spring to a 2-0 lead.
That is the most hardcore bait I have ever seen for a highlight reel, sliding out for Dashi to hit the quick scope. But despite the delays, that is still an incredibly quick search and destroy game where Optic was again full force, all the special talents on display across the board, big plays all the way around, and Dashi with his sniper as prolific as ever. And now we got to go into a control with all of the momentum in the world in the Green Wall's favor.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to slow him down. That's for sure. And again, you look at the way that game went, not really all that close. Game 1 was back and forth. Optic came out on top. Game 2, not close at all. Optic 2-0 up. We'll be back with game 3 after this.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL, Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix-amp of the CWL, and Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
Grab your stopwatch. It was what, 20 seconds in, if that. Dashi, by the way, a glitch, sees things we don't. I have no idea the second shot he connected with.
The hit marker? Yeah, it was his teammate.
Oh, and that can...
Game Fuel. Level up the game.
Welcome back, guys. I'm Jess once again, and before we get into map 3 of Optic versus Reciprocity, we're here in the Game Fuel open bracket for a little bit of an update. Now, joining me, I have my friend Charlie, who plays for. Can you tell us a little bit about your team?
We play for an organisation called Martial Punishment. We've been together for about 3 weeks now. We're more like a pickup team than an actual full team, but we seem to be doing pretty well at the moment.
Is this your first time competing in an open bracket at a CWL event?
No, this is probably my 13th, 14th event. I went out to America a couple of times last year to play. So yeah, I've been in a few open brackets.
So how are you finding the experience so far?
Open brackets are tough. Like, they're long days. You can play at 10 in the morning and you can wait until 6 in the evening to play again. So it's difficult, it takes it out on you, but no, it's fun, it's all good.
Well, finally, I'll let you get back to your practicing or whatever you're doing, but before that, do you have any shout-outs that you'd like to give our audience regarding your team or where they can find you guys on social media?
So I've got to give a shout-out to Stacey. Second map, we were down 5-2. We got a 5-5 comeback, round 11, and this man pops a 4-piece round 11, and yeah, I've got to give him a shout-out.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, and best of luck going forward. For now, we're going to head back over to the casters to get back into map 3.
Thank you very much, Jess. And that's funny because that was the game
we casted
that game.
Yeah.
We went on Bravo for a little bit, and that was a game that we actually got to cast, and it was fun. We actually saw that 4-piece right towards the very end.
Yeah.
Fantastic 5-2 comeback. So good luck to those guys in the open bracket. Definitely a tough place to compete. But speaking of hard places to compete, the main stage is no different.
Way tougher.
Yeah, it's pretty hard as well as Reciprocity.
Ask them, like, oh, baby.
Yeah, Optic Gaming currently 2-0 up in their series for Reciprocity now. This is how they have to fight back. We start with the seaside control. Me and Chance broke that down. They love their cute strats, but sometimes they leave a lot left to be desired. Then we go to our Arsenal hardpoint, and if we do somehow find our way to a magical Game 5, Frequency will be the map.
And just to kind of break down the creativity we've seen from Reciprocity, off the rip on offense, we've seen them delay over towards the B site, have Tommy flank around the map. We've seen
beautiful.
And it works out well, and then eventually they just lose the game.
Like,
we've seen them have aggressive strats to go straight towards A, to lean A, make them wrap back, then you double in, cut through mid, go back to B. They have all these tricks in the goodie bag, but they don't have a ton of wins. But obviously, you have moments where you have those just glimpses of success, and you never clutch up. What do you think they've been working on for the past month that we've had? It is fixing those mistakes later in the rounds. Of course, though, Optic Gaming in control can be a different beast. Even when their tournaments aren't going great, they still are a very solid control team. I think either 4-1 or 5-1 back at Fort Worth, so they're bread and butter.
I want to see Reciprocity make this a series. As it stands, Optic Gaming 2-0 up. Can they close it out, or has Europe still got a little bit left in the tank here halfway through Friday? Definitely been a tough start for Rec, and it's going to be a little bit harder now as well, as the first couple of kills all in favor of Optic Gaming. Pressure over towards A, almost the first tick fully through.
So Optic is actually leaving Crim6 mid-map to watch the push mode while the teammates are inside, so they know they just have to look forward. Don't worry about your back at all. Crim6 had it. TJ finds 3, but Crim6 falls. You gotta turn around, go hunt that player down mid-map, and TJ, he's debating, where do you want to go? Cap the point. They've got it. 29 lives, and they already have A.
Rec has 1 kill. That is it. Optic are running through them. Finally, it takes Shawnee in a 3-piece to get some control of the map. It's a 24-21 life advantage up the game.
And have we ever seen on C-side the A point get capped before B? I don't know if I've seen that a single time. We've seen them get a tick, maybe two if it's great. I don't think I've ever seen it get capped outright. That was beyond dominance of an opening break for Optic.
To Reciprocity's credit, they are coming back in terms of life. Now down just 2. And if Dylan had won that, would have been just 1. Tommy there to instantly trade. Pressure in B though, and it's gonna come from Scumpy. He drops. TJ not able to find the double. Shawnee does. So 16-15, 1 life advantage for Optic Gaming. But the big problem Reciprocity are gonna have is just the sheer amount of time. 1:30 left in this round.
Of course, they got to worry about the flank as well. Dashy is just going to set in stone. There's the first one for free. Reciprocity. Everyone needs to turn around. And Dashy, well, knows the sliders coming behind him, reads it like a book. And Walt Wuskins gets the trade, but that means Optic, they should be full speed ahead inside the hill. It's TJ and Krim inside. It's Scump trying to be that Slayer, looking around the hill, but 1 tick already through. Reciprocity, they got to be perfect.
The pressure's there. Second tick coming through. 3 players dead, 4 players dead for Rec. It's down to Zed momentarily, and he isn't going to be able to touch the hill. He's off spawn. This one should be the cap. Just a few seconds time. Is Zed even going to try and go for it? No, he's not. Reciprocity concede the first round.
Ben, Reciprocity got third.
Yes,
at the last open event, and if you would watch this series, you wouldn't believe this unless you thought that Optic won the entire thing, which they didn't, because this looks like a different team right now. We literally just saw them play like an hour and a half ago. They get to the main stage, and maybe the crowd feeding into them a little bit, but they are just playing different.
It's a different beast. Absolutely right. TJ with 3 for your best play. Saying, oh, I could do it too. And it's all smiles on the side of Optic Gaming, and rightfully so, because realistically, after about halfway through the Seaside hardpoint, they've been in control of this series.
There was a near perfect S&D, and it would have been had it not been for controller issues. It is looking like it could potentially be a perfect round of control. You're doing a little bit of a fake out towards B. They got 2 men for Reciprocity that delayed. The rest cut through mid, but TJ cuts one down. Scump is there with the Maddox for the trades. You get a couple back and forth though. Reciprocity may be able to get a tick on board, and I don't even know what Crim's getting hit markers with, but Dashy and Carmen getting the kills.
Now the problem for Reciprocity is you have a couple players getting close to streaks. You shut down one. Crim, I believe, may still be on the outskirts. Didn't see if he actually, nope, he did fall. So you've stopped that. Now can you put any pressure over towards B? There's one tick looking for the second, but TJ with another double. Zed will secure the second tick. Now the third is on its way. Again, Optic Gaming looking to try and contest. Bear in mind, 125 off streaks. This is going to be big for Reciprocity. Has to stay alive. Zed falls. Dylan with the trade. At least they will secure the B hill. Now you have 2 minutes, 10 seconds to try and cap it.
Well, this is where we see Seaside more of a normal situation. You get the B point first, but can you cap A? It's incredibly difficult for the offensive team, and you can see why. Tough uphill gunfights you have to take on one side of the map. You try to go through mid, well, you got to worry about top church. You got to flood in through a doorway. It's not easy, and you cut through barrels. And, well, Optic Gaming honestly can let you through, but Zed all the way in the back, and honestly, spawn kills might be on board.
Potentially. We'll wait and see. Woskin's trying to set it up on the other side. Now Zed's going to collapse too. There should be at least 1, maybe 2 free kills. And if Woskin is smart here, he can find this kill quickly. He can instantly turn around, may find another player from Optic Gaming off spawn. That's going to be the game plan. Is it going to work? Yes, it does. Beautiful reads from Woskin. Finds 2, looking for 3. Not going to happen. But Reciprocity with at least a little bit of control.
Well, no tick on board just yet. They got a couple players near church, but it is 3 players for Reciprocity around mid-map, 1 in barrels, that need to go help out their teammates. They got 1 minute and 18 left. With the number of lives, they might only have 2 pushes. It might come down to time rather than lives unless they get the break. And keep in mind, Zed has the grab slam in the back pocket, goes for it as well. Finds one with it. The Sog, though, not quite good enough, but Shawnee there for some trades. Dylan's in the back. Shawnee with another kill, 9v6. Dashy, though, the first one in the front line for Optic.
Tommy should spot him, and Tommy has Dashy pretty weak. Reciprocity maybe a few moments away from tying this control up 1-1. It's 7-6, 7-5, 6-5 is, again, a flurry of kills. Come through, team kill, though, from TJ. How costly is that going to be? It's a 5 versus 3, but TJ just runs straight through the middle of the hill. And now contested. Crim shuts down Zed, 3 versus 3. There is over 60 seconds left. You can take your time here if you're Reciprocity. Dylan jumps up top, he shuts down Dashy, 2v3.
I use it, go for the play. You got a 2v3, you got the War Machine.
Yep, there it is.
Go for it if you can, and he's gonna pull it out for the players above them. Player soars on past, takes TJ down. He was a little bit slow on the trigger.
This
Crim
isn't
6
over.
for the 1v2.
This is definitely not over. He tries to fly through, make the play. Crim shut down, and Reciprocity tie things up 1 round apiece.
In every sport, in any competitive environment, it's hesitation that kills you. You have to be confident with the play calls you make. We saw TJ pull it out for a second. Wide switch to get his gun back out, didn't want it. When he finally pulls it out, a little bit too late. The player able to get on top tank to shut him down. So those are big plays coming out from Reciprocity. Going crazy to make things pan out. So you got 2 offensive round wins, which you don't see very often.
Well, we'll see if it can be more of the same. Heading into round 3. Optic on their first attack just flew straight through. And they were able to cap A very, very quickly. Looking more of the same on the quick glance at the minimap. No, it won't. It's going to be a B assault, but Dylan draws first blood mid-map. Reciprocity just trying to really build something together, but again, Optic Gaming just so strong in the slaying category that they're able to just trade out if nothing else.
Well, Scump right now, the untradeable, able to find 2. It looks like clearance might be inside. He's got the TAC 5. Should he want to use it to help cap this B point? Well, Karma's sitting on his specialist as well, so slight advantage in the specialist category the way of Optic, but not by a massive amount, but they got a tick on board. Karma thought about it. Scump didn't want him to go.
Here comes the defensive push, Dylan with 2. That may slow down Optic Gaming just enough. They decapped the second tick. Waskin wanted to push forward. He's found himself one. Nice shots from Dylan. He connects with Karma, and it's a 3-life advantage as they look to try and make it 4. Nice plays from Reciprocity early on. They only give up 1 tick on B, and there's still some extra utility here to use.
Doing a nice job of spotting out the information. Calls out the cross. A player made it to tank, and he is just dancing with the devil right now, but staying alive. And, well, keeping out the gaming members at bay, but now, well, his teammates are falling. He's got to rotate and make big plays. Everyone's going to fall. He's able to get the first, still staying alive, dealing with the second. And he is just buying his teammates time, but Optic Gaming inside the hill. Dylan eventually gets shut down. He just took 700 damage before he falls.
It was looking like he didn't even need a teammate for a point there. Finally, Optic Gaming break into B. 2 ticks in. If you're Reciprocity, you can choke it. Play for exit kills. That's all you need to do. There's going to be a minute 28 on the clock. No progression into the A site. Now the Tempest is going to be used here by Dashi. Can he find an opening? Anything at all for Optic Gaming? He spotted 1. Shawnee will go down. Shawnee will be picked up instantly by Dashi. Looking for more. Teammates finding kills, and honestly, if you're Dashi here, you were looking for maybe a couple players off spawn, but Karma's doing a great job spawn killing. Look at the beautiful read on the timings. And Dashi has fallen. Dylan has a Tempest of his own.
Dylan's trying to counter the temp with 10 minutes, and he's got to find Karma as well, maybe to shut down the grab slam. He gets picked off, but Optic still inside the hill. Everyone else is picking up the kills, and potentially a tick on board, and this is Krim in a power position. Shawnee's got to come through checkers, but so many players here that he's got to deal with, and well, not a Sog the K, and hard to get kills within those situations, but the beatdown means he finds 2. They clear out their base, and Optic only with 1 point, but Scump got streaks.
And this is by no means over. To your point, Scump with streaks. It's an 8 versus 5, and you have a grab slam as well. Probably don't want to invest much on your first push, but just in case, if you absolutely have to, the utility is there. Are they thinking of pinging? That's the game plan. Scump pulls out the lightning strike. Probably not going to invest it just yet. They're going to funnel them inside. That should give Optic Gaming license to push in towards Reciprocity spawn, which is the exact game plan. In goes Karma. It looked as if he was trying to set up the grab slam, but it's a trade. 7 versus 4. Reciprocity are pinned into the hill. Krim will go down. Bear in mind, you are running out of time here. It's now a 5 versus 3. Any following kills for Reciprocity are going to be absolutely massive, but it all comes down to Dylan. It's a 1v5, and Scump picks up 3. Round over. Optic 2-1 up.
And the setup was perfect. Once you get to that 8v5, you do not have to worry about a player respawning and shooting you in the back. So they got full clearance. TJ around back, they were trying to set up the grab slam, and Scump at the end, he said, we still don't need it. He team killed him the first time he thought about using it. He picks up 3 on the enemy. The second time, Karma had the idea in his mind. And now you save that for this next round. Still a little bit of utility at display as well, of course. The streaks on board as well.
And should be all done and dusted. Considering the 2 streaks Scump has, you have yourself, obviously, the War Machine, the Grab Slam for Optic. Krim has Vision Pulse, all the utility in Optic Gaming's favor, but it's the first blood that comes through. The Hellstorm should trade out 1. There is still a little bit of a presence. It looked like Zed tried to push through. That didn't really work out as he would have liked. The rest of us have to be really careful here not to just dig themselves into a hole.
You got 2 players through barrels and a couple players mid-map Reciprocity who know they need to commit to the A point just to help their teammates, but their teammates are falling. Scump makes the read, catches a player. Zed inside the hill. Maybe been a saving grace of a player right now for Reciprocity, but needs to do more. Scump inside, find the kill, gets it just down Zed. And Waskins eventually drops him, but Optic, they got the man advantage, at least a small one at that, but no ticks on board.
Good defensive hold, though, for Reciprocity for now, at least. The decap is coming through. Meanwhile, B, 1 tick in, halfway towards the second. Zed just doing a good job staying alive. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Tommy's picked up 1, and
honestly, that B may actually just go here. I don't think there's really much Optic Gaming can do. You'd love to see Wuska maybe try and play for some streaks. 175, make that 75 away. That could be massive at bringing Reciprocity back into this game. He's earned the Lightning with the Tech 5. Smart play from him, but his teammates have fallen. Honestly, he could have just hopped back in towards the B zone.
Yeah, he probably should have gotten back and grabbed some extra points, but hey, he wants to do it with his gun, or maybe even the trophy system can help him out. Harmon knows it, wants to shut him down. I think that's literally what he's looking for, just try to hunt down Wuskins. Player spot the cross shot, he gets the business, he's able to stay alive. Wuskins though, you see the Hellstorm is on board. They're down a round that obviously they need to win, and they got the streaks to make it happen.
Bear in mind, Scum has invested both of his as well. So, advantage Reciprocity in this round. They may only be down 1 life. You're gonna have to use everything here to give yourself an opening. You cannot let Optic Gaming keep slaying you though as you make your way across. TJ with 2, waiting for the heal to come through. That was at least able to shut down TJ. Now what else can Reciprocity find? Well, there's a second. War Machine earned by Tommy. Again, that could maybe be the factor of trying to force this one to a round 5. Grab slam from Karma. That finds 2. Shawnee and Dylan in the front door drop. 11 to 9, the life count. 40 seconds left in this round. Optic just doing their best at trading it at nothing else.
Extra health coming in a full effect. You see the power of the TAC 5 and the power of TJ Haley when he is on point.
Gotta use everything.
26 seconds left, 9v6. You gotta do it with the point. And they gotta get there as well, but they gotta deal with all the Sogs. The Sogs right now for Optic have been shredding on Seaside. 75.
75, you're absolutely right. Can somehow Reciprocity try and break through? Shawnee's inside the hill, 6 versus 3. What else does Reciprocity have left in their tank? They take it down to the final couple of lives. The first hit in A is through. Halfway through the second, kills are gonna be so important. But Karma's going for the pinch, and Dashi shuts down the last player. Optic Gaming make a big, big statement. Their first game on the main stage here in CWL London. It's a 3-0 against Reciprocity. 2-0 now in their pools. They're ready and waiting for 100 Thieves to close out the night.
And the main stage Optic just looks like a different beast. They are in a phenomenal position in their pool. And on the flip side for Rec, they're just coming off of the top 3 placing, but they have dug themselves in a hole that will not be easy to dig out of.
I mean, it makes the pool maybe a little bit easier. Of course, it all depends on what happened in the 100 Thieves versus Enigma.